Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Chris back with another video. And before we get into today's conversation, I want to know, why y'all not subscribing? Like, what you waiting for? No, really, I'm asking. Leave your answer in the comments below. I'd love to know. Thanks. So, I was having a conversation with a family member recently, and the base of the conversation was sexuality. And I had a bit of blind spots when it was coming to queerness and the visibility of it. So this family member wanted to bring up a topic of conversation. They were watching a TV show called Empire. It's like a family-based drama. I used to watch like the first 3 seasons of it, but it just got too complicated, too much drama. It seemed also unnecessary, so I stopped watching. But this family member, they still really enjoy watching the TV show. And in the TV show, there is a gay male character. His name is Jamal, and apparently he's getting married. And there's episodes leading up to the wedding. And I guess in one of the episodes, they shared a really fiery, passionate, explicit kiss. And in this kiss, my family member felt uncomfortable. And they wanted to preference their uncomfortableness with, well, I have a lot of gay family members. I'm in supportive of all gay love, but there was just something that was, making me very uncomfortable and uneasy while watching this so explicit kiss on TV. My first question would be, when we are talking about critical thinking, this is what I'm talking about. You have to start asking yourself, why does something like two men on TV make you uncomfortable? You have to ask, where does that stem from? You don't get your thoughts and ideas in a vacuum. That's just not how it works. You are not a fully isolated human that's not influenced by the way the society has been conditioning and brainwashing us. So that would be my first step to ask for you. Why does two men on TV make you uncomfortable versus two hetero people on TV? Then this family member responded with, well, I don't like when anyone does it. I don't even like when straight people do it. It's so explicit, it's so vulgar, it's too much. On Modern Family, that gay couple, their intimacy is great. They peck and kiss, but nothing's too explicit or over the top. And it's well, where is your outrage then when a straight couple is making out on a big screen and on TVs? I've been knowing this family member for my whole entire life, and I've never heard them come up to me and be like, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt were disgusting on the screen. How dare they? Ugh. Sanaa Lathan and Omar Epps. How could they? I've never heard that outrage. So if you are gonna have the same outrage for gay people kissing on TV and straight people kissing explicitly on TV, I understand that actually. I find that to be okay, but keep the same energy all across the board. I ain't never heard you speak up before about straight people making out on TV before. And even with the comment about Modern Family, there has to be balance for all of us. Just as there's balance for straight people, there's spaces in TV shows and films and media where there is more a conservative straight couple, but also more progressive, liberal, or other type of couple. You have to show the spectrum. You have to have balance in representation of said people. This family member then asked, well, is there room for all of us to have our stories be told? And the answer is yes. There's literally almost 8 billion people on this planet. We're not a monolith. We're all so unique and interesting. And while yes, I can relate and appreciate something, at the same time also not feeling visible and being seen and represented in the media. On Netflix, there's this TV show called Special, and it's about this gay male who has cerebral palsy. And who would have ever thought that there was room for that? Not me, because that's not my life, that's not my experience. But you gotta have room for people to feel like they're being seen and being validated. There really is space for all of us. Well, that was just of the time, which to me is the silliest counter you can ever have. It is such an excuse for bad behavior. Slavery was just of the time, but there was still trauma that happened to those black bodies. Black people still suffered and became victims at the hands of white supremacy. And another reason why this counter doesn't hold up as far as just of the time, like those same like ideologies that were supporting oppressive systems are still being flexed today. Like sex trafficking still exists, misogyny still exists, racism still exists, homophobia still exists. So those things are of the time, are not something that are just in the past. Like there's still something that's still existing now. Like, so when people refer back to certain times or certain conditionings, it's really just to draw back in an example of how this where it stemmed from and how it's passed down through us generation to generation to generation, and how we really ain't made too much progress. And this family member really must have just had their ego just overwhelm them and gotten too much into their pride, because they were like, well, I'm not going to be made to be ashamed or felt guilty for having felt these ways. For me personally, like putting anyone to shame doesn't help anyone. Most of us aren't born with such awareness and consciousness. So for me personally, when I am talking to someone, it's coming from a very compassionate and understanding place. We legit have to all unplug from the matrix so that way we can rid ourselves of the toxic conditionings that we have been exposed to. So it's never the point to shame or guilt anyone. It's just to enlighten and educate. Hold people accountable for their actions or ideas. It's as simple as, if you see something, you say something. Listen, there's nothing wrong with addressing fuck shit. You can also choose to be the bigger person, but there's also nothing wrong with addressing when motherfuckers done you wrong. There's not one answer to how you can address your oppressor. And to my family member who had this last counter argument, and to a lot of other people I've heard say this, like, well, what's so wrong with me and you having different opinions? And to that I say, there literally is nothing wrong. Opinions are just that. They're just opinions. Everyone has one. However, if your opinion is harmful and threatening to my existence, that's when we got a motherfucking problem. Like, me being gay is just a matter of fact. Same thing as me being black. I was born this way and it's nothing that I can change. Same thing about my sexuality. When you disagree with my mere existence, then that's when we got some issues, Houston. We really got a problem. And I just want to end this video with saying that there's nothing wrong with questions. Like, even if you surround yourself with a bunch of gay people that you love, like, and you think that you have a really good understanding of who they are and their existence, like, sometimes you got to do little check-ins. You got to check in with yourself and making sure that you're not falling back into the old societal norms. Like, the brainwashing and conditioning has been going on for like centuries. So none of this change is going to happen overnight, and it's going to be a continuous process. Like, I know I'm sitting here talking to you guys, talking about holding people accountable for their homophobic behavior and comments, but every once in a while I have to check myself on my homophobic thoughts or my anti-blackness, like all those things that I can internalize, and also any of my other prejudice or biases that I have about people. Like, trust me, there's literally no one who has it all figured out yet, and from time to time you're gonna have to do those check-ins. You're gonna have to ask those questions. You're gonna have to critically think, where does this disdain and uncomfort stem from? All right, that's everything on this topic. Let me know what you guys think. Have you guys ever had any family members or close friends that you have to really have a conversation and explain your existence to? It's exhausting, but if we're gonna have some type of change in this world, it's gonna come from the people who are around us, our family and friends, the people that we love the most, the people that love us the most. You do not have to get on some platform and be the next MLK or Malcolm X. Change literally starts from the people who are closest to you. So that's it for today's video, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.